You hear a neurologist talking to Mr. Harold Donnelly.
You have 30 seconds to go through the notes.
Good morning, Mr. Donnelly. It's nice to meet you. What's been going on that's brought you in to see us today?
Morning, Doctor. Thanks for making the time. Well, I've been having a few issues over the last year or so, mainly with my memory and a bit of dizziness now and then. I shrugged it off at first, thinking it was just part of getting on in years. I'm 78 now, so you expect a few hiccups, but it's become hard to ignore. My wife, Marlene, she's the one who gave me a nudge to finally get it checked. She reckons I've started repeating myself a lot and misplacing things.
I'm glad you came in. Let's take it slow and just talk it through. Can you tell me more about what's been happening with your memory?
Sure. It's not all the time, but I'll be halfway through a sentence and just lose the thread. Especially if I get distracted. Names are the worst, people I've known for years, and suddenly the name's just gone. I can usually remember it later, but in the moment it feels like hitting a blank wall. I've also had trouble keeping track of appointments. Marlene's taken over most of that. I've started writing things down on sticky notes all over the house.
That sounds frustrating. Has it affected your daily routines?
In little ways, yeah. I used to be the one who handled our banking, balancing the books, paying bills on time. But I've made a couple of errors recently, paid the cancel rates twice last quarter, and forgot to renew the Rego for the car. It's not like me at all. I've also gotten lost once or twice while driving, which scared the daylights out of me. Places I've been to dozens of times, I just drew a blank.
And aside from the memory, you mentioned dizziness?
Yeah, that's been a funny one. Started about 6 months back. It's not spinning vertigo, more like a woozy, unsteady feeling, especially when I get up too fast. Had a close call in the garden a few weeks ago, lost my balance and fell into the tomato patch. Nothing broken, thank God, but it rattled me. Been walking a bit more cautiously since.
Have you had any falls or blackouts before that?
A couple of stumbles, but that tomato one was the only proper fall. No blackouts or anything like that. My GP thought it might be blood pressure related, and I did switch to a lower dose of the perindopril I'm on. Also take atorvastatin and a daily aspirin. No massive changes since the dose adjustment, though.
And do you have any family history of neurological conditions? Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, anything like that?
Well, my dad had Parkinson's. He was diagnosed in his early 70s, but his symptoms were more physical, the tremor and stiffness. My mum lived well into her 90s, bit forgetful toward the end, but never officially diagnosed with dementia. I suppose I've always worried the memory stuff might be hereditary.
That's helpful to know. Have you ever had a brain scan, MRI or CT?
Not for years. I had a CT after a car crash about a decade ago, nothing came of it. Haven't had anything recent. My GP did suggest a referral for a scan, but said it was better to speak to a neurologist first and see where we go from here.
That makes sense. We can organize a scan for you, MRI preferably, to get a good look at the brain structure. I'll also run through some memory and cognitive tests here in clinic, if that's all right. It'll help us understand the type of memory lapses you're experiencing and what the likely cause might be.
Yep, that'd be good. I'd rather know what I'm dealing with than bury my head in the sand. I'm not trying to turn back the clock, just want to keep my independence as long as I can. I still volunteer at the men's shed twice a week and help my daughter with school pickups. I'd like to keep doing that while I'm able.
That's a great mindset, Mr. Donnelly. And the earlier we identify what's happening, the more options we have. Depending on what the tests show, we might consider medications like Donepal or rivastigmine, which can help with symptoms in certain types of memory decline. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll assess thoroughly first.
Sounds like a plan, Doc. I just want to stay sharp enough to finish a crossword without needing Marlene to step in halfway through. That's my benchmark.